this morning. 11 practices in, everybody. John, speaking of that preseason game tomorrow, my friend, what to look for, some players you think to watch. Everybody's getting ready for the preseason game. I know
players to watch.
I know we kind of joke about it, but John, there are people out there, who are excited, and I get it. They're excited to see their Eagles back on the field. I did see, what else did I see from last night? Oh, A.J. Brown in his Patriots uniform. I'm sure some people were looking at that.
The jilted X. The jilted X.
Yeah. What's important for the Birds tomorrow, if anything? I know it's nobody on the top starting 22, but.
Well, as usual, the most important stuff is the boring stuff. How many penalties? They come out of it with no injuries. The operation is key to me. Sean Mannion, how he handles the communication, personnel packages, all that stuff. Is that seamless? So it's actually the boring stuff that that's the important stuff. And that might be the most important, the operation part of the offense. So if you see pre-snap stuff, that's not good. As far as the players, I mean, they're competing. So the players that are competing for jobs. We talked about it at the outset of the show. A certain group, Darius Cooper's got to keep it going. Just like Nick Sirianni said, it's August 13th yesterday. What's today? August 14th. It's not over. You can't just shut it down and say, I had a good camp to this point. He's got to finish the deal to even get in the conversation to have that opportunity. And then there's, all the bubble players, Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee, not bubble players, but for the second team quarterback job. That's obviously interesting. The Ty Robinsons of the world, the Willie Lampkins of the world. We talked about the edge rushers. Where's AJ Epinesa? People will be excited by Uar Bernard, even though what did Vic say? He's got light years to go. But people will want to see him. Elijah Moore has had a tremendous camp. Johnny Wilson's got to get himself back in the conversation. He's back on the practice field after missing a couple days. So that was good for him because now he'll be able to play in the game. Nobody pays attention to special teams, but you should. And don't pay attention to the kickers. Pay attention to the long snapper. Where are those things going? Because he has not been consistent. And right now, if I were a betting man, I would say that the long snapper is not on this team yet. But, Rocco can change that. Rocco Underwood, if he gets more consistent, starts settling down. Punt return, kick return. That, Britton covers their ace in the hole because there's no reason to keep him on the 53. He's vested. You don't have to put him through waivers. You can do the wink deal and say, we're going to cut you, but we're going to bring you back on the practice squad. We're going to elevate you for the first 3 games and then figure it out. So they have that insurance policy of punt returner, but they're trying to see if Elijah Moore can return punts. And if they can do that, maybe he can make the roster. They've tried him on kickoff returns, trying to make him more valuable. Cam Williams and Miles Hinton. I mean, right now they're on the outside looking in. They gotta put together some good reps to even get back in the conversation. So there's a bunch of players where it's very, very meaningful for. But as far as the most important, clean operation on offense, out of it healthy, and show an occasional spark to get the people excited.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it, Johnny Mac. Good rundown there. We'll see if they're able to do that. Obviously, some of those depth guys. I want to see guys like Darius Cooper. I want to see some of these depth guys that we've talked about here in camp that have a chance to make an impact on the team if they continue to play well. There's not that many of those guys, but like the backup corners, I think are interesting because corner, you're subject to injury there. We've seen a lot of rotation sometimes at that spot. Last year, I think Adoree Jackson missed, left a couple games. The year prior was Slay. He left a couple games. So I'm looking there. I'm looking at Cooper.
Should have mentioned Eli Stowers. Everybody will be, maybe Eli's a game player, not a practice player. Maybe he shows up with a big catch or something. Just
in
right
theory,
now,
it should be a good environment for him.
Yeah, right now it's Dallas Goedert and Johnny Munt. And that ain't good. So, and Eli's going to make the team. I mean, there's no question about that, but be nice if he can contribute, especially in this offense where you need a bunch of tight ends.
Yeah. Offensive line, too. Depth on the offensive line, I think will be interesting to watch. Who's the best of the depth on the O-line right now?
Drew
I guess outside. Oh, is he?
Yeah, Drew's locked in, I would say. Obviously Bell would have the bigger upside, but I mean, he's going to be interesting to watch too. I don't know. It's so hard. Let's see somebody else rush Markel Bell. See what it looks like. Fred's obviously you've seen a lot of Fred. He's competent. But that's why Bell is here. Hopefully he can take over that swing tackle job early on. If not, then you got to keep both of them, which makes it more difficult. You probably have to keep one less on the interior. Willie Lampkin's going to be the guy everybody's fired up about because he's so unique looking. And I guarantee they're going to make a big thing about him on television because of the size difference. And he's got this fire plug of a body. He's incredibly strong for his size. He's a former high-level wrestler. He's got great balance and leverage. Very quick. So he can get to the second level, which is big on this offense. I think he's going to be he was a big star. It's hard to be a star on the offensive line, but he was a big star for the Rams fans last year in the preseason because he stood out. And I think the same thing's going to happen with the Eagles this year.
Agreed. All right, good stuff there, Johnny.